I've transmigrated into a book again, and again. This time, I landed in a tragic romance that revolves around chasing a husband to the pyre. The original male and female leads were supposedly deeply in love. But the heroine has the classic, close childhood friend younger brother. For the sake of that brother, the heroine repeatedly abandons the male lead. At engagement parties, at birthday banquets, on anniversaries of their relationship, Liam can call her at any time and she will leave. The male lead, this turtle of a man, silently endured it for 7 whole years. In the end, his heart died and he went abroad. Only then did the heroine suddenly wake up and start her husband-chasing funeral pyre. When I read this novel, I felt like the sins from the last Transmigration massacre had all been cleansed. This kind of over-the-top female novel plot. Come on. For normal people, if a couple loves each other, shouldn't they put each other first? Even a close childhood friend, little brother, should be put behind, right? But the original heroine, Sophia, is the reverse of common sense. She says she loves the male lead, but her body loyally falls toward Liam. On their anniversary, at the male lead's birthday banquet, even at the engagement between the two families, she always gets called away by one phone call from Liam. Her excuse: Liam has severe depression. I'm his only family in this city. I must take care of him. An engagement ceremony can be held any time, but my brother is only one person in life, is only one. Don't make unreasonable demands. Hearing these reasons makes my teeth itch with rage. Excuse me, sister, are you his mother or his granny? What obligation do you have to care for him? If you really wanted to, wouldn't you hire a caregiver instead of leaving in the middle of his and your engagement banquet? And first it's the anniversary, the birthday banquet, and now an engagement. How can there be so many depressive episodes? As a queen of business, a clever, domineering heroine, can't she see this as all Liam directing his own drama? Even if she didn't see it, wouldn't she be suspicious and investigate? She only thinks to check after she forces the male lead to leave the country. When she discovers it was all a misunderstanding, all staged by Liam, she regrets it endlessly and runs to beg his forgiveness, tail between her legs. It's infuriating. Of course, the most infuriating part is that turtle of a male lead. People practically ride him and dance on his face, and he still tolerates it. Quietly enduring, silently staying beside the heroine, hoping to win her over with true feelings. The only one who gets moved is himself. He's a super invincible, submissive turtle. In a Xuanhuan world, he'd at best be a divine beast, a Xuanwu. I really cannot understand why he can endure so much. And he endures for 7 years. 7 years later, the heroine agrees to his proposal, thinking sweetness is finally coming. Instead, she says they must postpone the wedding because she wants to stage a fake marriage with her brother Liam first. To fulfill Liam's dying of cancer, Mother Margaret's last wish to see her son married before she dies. It's utterly absurd. Only then does the male lead's heart finally die. Then the classic quiet departure abroad to further his studies. Such torment. Instead of taking revenge, he just thinks of going abroad. But what annoys me the most is this. His heart was already dead. If he's leaving, just leave. He had to melodramatically clear out his things silently as a form of self-mourning. He gave himself 7 days to leave. Damn it, classes abroad might start in 7 days. But that doesn't mean he could only leave after 7 days. Why did he have to torment himself for another 7 days? When I saw this novel, I felt a sudden pang in my heart. Late at night, it made me so stifled I couldn't sleep. Just as I was complaining about the plot to my fellow psych patient, my heart suddenly clenched. I didn't panic, didn't struggle, and didn't call an ambulance. For someone like me who keeps reliving novels, I was already used to it. So with a blink, I found myself in this female-oriented world. Only when I fully opened my eyes did I realize I was sitting alone in a cafe. As I wondered which part of the original story this was, a few lines of subtitles suddenly appeared before me. Wow, the male lead is really so good. Told by his fiancée that she's going to marry her brother Liam, he doesn't get angry at all. Instead, he agrees to meet her at a cafe to get an explanation. Truly a once-in-a-lifetime good man. The male lead really is so pitiful. His fiancée is always so understanding, thinking of others, thinking of Liam, thinking of Liam's mother, but she never thought about how the male lead himself would feel. Nonsense. How is that not thinking about him? The heroine, to show her remorse, personally made the male lead a mango cake. She's on her way now to explain. You upstairs must not have read the original. Don't you know the male lead is allergic to mango? As for an explanation, that she only considers Liam a brother? Ridiculous. The plot needs it. How else will the later parts be satisfying if there isn't suffering now? Never mind. The female lead is already at the door. The most brutal scenes are about to start. As someone who frequently transmigrates into books, I was naturally not unfamiliar with these barrage comments. I suppose there are readers like me peeking into this world in real time. To the readers in front of the screen, I want to say, it's precisely because they comment and because they enjoy watching that this novel stays so popular. That's how I came across this pseudo-romance. But I don't feel like complaining right now. From the comments, I can tell the female lead Sophia is about to arrive. I also understand the timing of this transmigration. It's the moment when Sophia, 7 days before the wedding, tells the male lead she's going to marry Liam. The male lead is furious. Then Sophia arranges to meet at a cafe and brings a mango cake to apologize and explain. My eyes filled with anger. When I read the original, this was the part that upset me most. After 7 years together, the person who shares your pillow doesn't even know the male lead is allergic to mangoes. If they didn't know, fine, but the apology is late. If it's late, fine, but she brings the slimy Liam along to apologize. Isn't that enough to provoke the male lead? Of course not. The male lead is such a stubborn, passive man. Knowing he's allergic to mangoes, he doesn't explain and instead forces himself to eat it through tears, bite by bite. He ends up in the ICU. Only then is he completely brokenhearted. It's just outrageous. What is all that acting like deep feeling for? What's going on? Do you guys feel the male lead's expression is terrifying? You say that, and it's true. Kind of like the look a villain gives when they want to stab someone. Are you sure you're not misreading it? The male lead is gentle and humble. How could he have that look? Maybe the male lead has awakened? Never mind. The female lead just brought the male supporting character into the cafe. The scene is starting. Sophia, sorry, there was a traffic jam on the way. You've been waiting a long time, right? A woman in a purple dress with a graceful figure walked in. She was carrying a cake, and a man followed behind her. It was none other than the female lead Sophia and her childhood friend and younger brother Liam. I narrowed my eyes and appraised them. No wonder she's the heroine of this story. Her temperament is exquisite, her looks superb, and her figure impeccable. Pale skin, graceful posture, and a generous bosom. Seeing her, some of the anger I felt eased a little, but the feeling vanished instantly. After all, thinking of what she had done made my fury spike 100-fold. You set the meeting for 9. It's almost 10 now. Did you expect me to wait this long? I said, displeased. Hearing the sharpness in my tone, Sophia frowned slightly. Before she could respond, Liam stepped forward impatiently. Ethan, don't say that. It wasn't on purpose. We didn't know there'd be a traffic jam on the way. I looked at him coldly. A 10-kilometer drive, and it took an hour? Are you kidding me? Even if you didn't know about the jam, wouldn't you leave earlier? I then turned to Sophia. As a business person, don't you value punctuality, Miss Taylor? What's gotten into the male lead? He's usually soft and weak. Why is he being so tough today? Yeah, he's always gentle and would never talk to the heroine like this. Today he actually called her Miss Taylor. It makes sense. Maybe the heroine provoked him about marriage yesterday, and he's venting his frustration today. Hey, don't any of you think he has a point? If you didn't expect a traffic jam, why not leave earlier? Anyone would be angry about being an hour late. Liam was silenced. Sophia looked at me, bewildered. Miss Taylor? He actually called me Miss Taylor. He used to call me darling. Her expression stiffened. After a long pause, she composed herself. All right, Ethan. I know you're upset about me marrying Liam. We came to explain. She sat beside me and leaned in. Liam's mother has cancer and doesn't have long to live. Her only wish is to see Liam settled. You know, Liam doesn't have many friends, so as his sister, I had to help. But don't worry, we're only having a fake marriage. Once Anna's at peace, I'll come back and our wedding will go on as planned. I said nothing, only watched her coldly. Sophia shivered under my gaze. Ethan, you'll understand, right? She asked, and I couldn't help but laugh. Understand. Sophia, are you kidding me? You're my fiancé. Our wedding is in 7 days, and you tell me you're going to have a fake marriage with someone else. What do you take me for? And what do you take the Johnson family for? Sophia's momentum faltered. She clung to my arm. Ethan, I know I wronged you, but I'll make it up to you. Make it up. I flung her hand off with disgust, lips sneering. Sophia nodded, then took out the mango mille-feuille she had brought. Ethan, let's not argue about that now. Didn't you say you wanted to try a cake I made myself? I learned to make this cake especially for you. I spent the whole morning on it. I was late because of making the cake, so please don't be angry, okay? While saying that, she cut a piece of cake and pushed it in front of me. Ethan, you have to try this. I scoffed at the large chunks of mango on the cake. Made especially for me. Sophia nodded. Yes, your favorite mango. Her voice abruptly stopped, because I had already grabbed the piece of cake and slammed it hard into her face. Plop! Sticky cream instantly smeared over Sophia's carefully made-up face. Stunned for a moment, Sophia finally screamed. Ethan, are you crazy? What are you doing? She fumbled to wipe the cream from her face, but the more she wiped, the worse it got, making her look completely disheveled. Liam was shocked too, but quickly recovered and stepped in front of Sophia. Ethan, Sophia kindly made you a cake. How can you do this to her? Even if you're angry, you can't lay a hand on her, and you can't trample on Sophia's intentions like this. Liam's voice was loud, full of righteous anger. Coupled with Sophia's earlier commotion, countless people in the cafe immediately turned to stare. Yeah, kid, no matter how much a couple fights, you don't hit each other. Besides, a girl already came forward to explain and apologize and even made you a cake. How can you do this? Can't you be more magnanimous? Encouraged by Liam's words, the onlookers began pointing at me. Sophia's eyes brimmed with resentment, her voice cold. Ethan, you owe me an expo. I'll explain, you know what. Before she could finish, I grabbed the remaining cake and slapped it into her face again. At that moment, the barrage of comments surged. In the original plot, the male lead sees the female lead made him a mango cake, feels upset, but still eats it bite by bite. This is wrong. The plot's off? Right. The male lead's character shouldn't be gentle and caring like this. How could he be so violent and toward his beloved fiancée? What is going on with this plot? It's already collapsing before it even starts. Sophia was stunned. She hadn't expected me to strike again. After a brief silence, an indescribable fury erupted. Ethan, you're truly insane. She raised her hand to slap me, but Liam held her tightly. Sophia, don't. Liam, let me go. We kindly made him a cake, and he won't appreciate it. He needs to be taught a lesson today. Sophia's voice was furious. Liam kept shaking his head. No, Sophia, it's all my fault. Don't let me ruin your relationship. As he spoke, he turned to the onlookers. Everyone, please disperse. It's just a misunderstanding, a couple having a little quarrel. Liam is really too nice. His words and actions are so considerate. Isn't that off? This is clearly playing the green tea role, right? Yes, saying that on purpose to use people's sympathy to blame the male lead. Poor male lead baby, he's about to suffer blame and insults again. Sure enough, the next moment public indignation flared. Young man, I'm not saying you, but even if couples fight, you shouldn't lay hands on someone. Exactly, the girl already bowed and apologized, and you still wouldn't let it go. Throwing the cake she made in her face. How heartless. The people inside the hall spat at me with contempt. My eyes narrowed slightly as I walked toward the last person who had spoken. Damn, who dared insult me? Without hesitation, I picked up the remaining cake from the table and slapped it at his face. Fuck, I already messed with them. Why didn't I mess with you too? You know nothing. What right do you have to judge me? I hated meddlesome people who didn't know the whole story. With those words out, I slapped that man twice hard across the face. Slap! Slap! The crisp sound of palms echoed through the hall. The cafe was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Everyone stared at me in stunned silence. No one expected me to be this violent. You. The man wiped cream from his face, his voice trembling as he pointed at me. You? I didn't hold back and kicked him in the face again. As if, in real life, I endured enough, and now I'm transmigrated into a book and still get pushed around? Wasn't that a waste of a transmigration? As the male lead's family, the Johnsons were practically all-powerful. Beating up two ordinary civilians meant nothing. At worst, I'd spend a few days in custody. At worst, I'd die and go back to my original world. The point was I wouldn't stand for being humiliated. Saying that, I looked down with contempt at the man. Next time you dare stick your nose into other people's business? WTF, the male lead has really awakened. He won't take any of this? Start to fight at the drop of a hat. So satisfying. I've hated those brainless, gossipy bystanders for ages. Good hit. The man clutched his swollen, reddened face. And when he heard my words, he looked profoundly wronged. I don't even know what happened between you two, but wasn't I right? No matter what, you shouldn't slap a cake in a girl's face, right? The onlookers agreed. Yeah, right. Hearing that, I laughed. Shouldn't. I pointed at the mango on the cake on the floor, my voice heavy with resentment. Do you know I'm allergic to mango? At those words, Sophia's hand stilled as she wiped the cream away. Ethan, you allergic to mango? I smiled bitterly and nodded. Sophia, I'm severely allergic to mango. When I was 5, I almost died in the hospital. The whole Johnson family knows this, even the cleaning aunties. You've been dating me for 7 years, saying you love me, and you don't know. In the past 7 years, I've told you more than once. Don't tell me you don't remember. Sophia's pupils constricted. This matter, she seemed to really not remember. A chorus of gasps and murmurs broke out. Severely allergic to mango? Almost died in the hospital? Oh my God. And this woman brought a mango cake? Trying to kill him? Can't even remember their partner's allergies. Is this fiancé even real? Young man, sorry, we misunderstood you. The public opinion flipped instantly. Their earlier anger toward me turned into disgust at Sophia. Surrounded by the pointing and whispering, Sophia went pale. Her previous fury melted into guilt. She pursed her lips. Ethan, Liam saw the situation turning and hurriedly defended. Ethan, don't be like that. Sophia must have been really busy recently and just slipped up. I snorted and raised my hand, summoning a trembling waiter. Go, bring me a glass of whole milk and make it quick. What is the male lead trying to do? Why milk of all things? Didn't you watch earlier scenes? Liam is allergic to milk. Look at the way the male lead is looking at him. He can't be planning to... The waiter, though puzzled, didn't dare delay and quickly brought a glass of milk. I took it, my gaze malicious, and walked step by step toward Liam. The color drained from Liam's face as he instinctively backed away. What do you want to do? Nothing, I said, sneering at Sophia. Just politely offer you a glass of milk. No, I won't drink it. Take it away. Liam screamed and tried to dodge. At that moment, Sophia snapped back and shouted, Ethan, don't. Liam is allergic to milk, I said mockingly. Oh, you can be careless with me, but not with him. I won't listen anymore. I grabbed Liam by the collar with one hand and pinched his chin with the other, forcing his mouth open, then without hesitation poured the entire glass of milk into it. Cough, cough. Gah, Liam struggled desperately, but it was no use. The milk kept filling his throat. Ethan, are you insane? Stop this. Sophia's heart clenched when she saw it, and she rushed forward to try to push me away. After I finished pouring, I tossed Liam aside like trash, then slightly turned my body to dodge. My tone was casual, with a fake apology. Sorry, Liam, I was careless. I didn't know you were allergic to milk. Looks like I was right. The male lead wanted to use milk to get back at Liam. Wait, is this plot correct? Wasn't the male lead supposed to eat cake? How did it become Liam drinking milk? Folks, do we just see a pirated version? But why is this pirated one kind of satisfying? This kind of male lead is great. So much better than the previous passive him. Now he not only uses words, but hands too. Exactly, his words are so sharp. One little slip, and he snapped back at him. Ha ha. I bowed my head, looking at Liam on the ground, feeling indescribably satisfied. In the original book, there was a scene. Sophia, because Liam got drunk, brought him home. Sophia went to take a shower and told the male lead to take care of Liam. The original man, what a coward, actually listened. He fussed over Liam, asking what he needed. Liam said a cup of hot milk would be fine. The male lead obediently did it. As a result, Liam drank it and immediately broke out in hives and fainted. When he woke up and faced Sophia's questioning, he bit back, accusing the original male lead of deliberately harming him. The male lead tried to explain, but Sophia didn't believe him. She said who would joke with someone's life and slapped him. He didn't dodge. When I read that part 1 thought the author was unbelievably perverse. But there was nothing to do. She's a writer for the female market. At the time I did think about ways the male lead could get revenge on Liam. If he was allergic to milk, then force feed him milk. I didn't expect Liam to provoke me and come right up to me. My force-feeding plan finally had a legitimate place to be used. After I shoved him away, Liam immediately went limp on the ground, clutching his throat and coughing violently. Red rashes began to appear on his face and neck at a rate visible to the naked eye, and his breathing grew labored. Sophia, distressed, moved to help Liam, then suddenly turned and raised her hand to slap me. "You lunatic! I told you Liam is allergic to milk. Why didn't you listen?" My eyes narrowed, and I effortlessly caught her wrist. Then, to everyone's shock, with a reverse motion, slap. A crisp, loud smack landed hard on Sophia's face. The force was so strong her head snapped aside, and a clear 5-finger handprint quickly bloomed on her pale cheek. She clutched her face, staring at me in disbelief, her voice trembling. "You hit me? Ethan, how dare you hit me? I am your fiancé." "Fiancé?" I wiped my hand, contempt deepening in my gaze. "Heh, Sophia, you remember you're my fiancé?" "As my fiancé, you don't even remember that I'm severely allergic to mangoes, yet you happen to remember an outsider's milk allergy. Isn't that ridiculous?" Hearing my words, the color drained from Sophia's face. She was mortified. "Ethan, I don't know what happened either, but believe me, this is a misunderstanding. It was my oversight. I'll remember from now on." Hearing the word oversight again made me feel nothing but scorn. "You say this is a misunderstanding. What about before? Were those misunderstandings too?" "What do you mean?" Sophia hesitated. "I mean the 7 years we've been dating. How exactly did you perform your fiancé duties?" When Sophia fell silent, I shook my head and began recounting the absurd things the original had endured. For our 1-year anniversary, I booked the best restaurant in the city and prepared for 3 months, but you ditched me and the entire restaurant staff because Liam made a bad mood call. For my 23rd birthday banquet, with both families and friends present, just as the cake was brought out, you left without a word because Liam had a fever. 6 months ago, at our engagement banquet, while the MC was still warming up, you tore off the veil and ran because of false news that Liam cut his wrists in depression, leaving me and the Johnson family to become the laughingstock of the city in front of both families and all the guests. With each sentence my voice rose, each word cutting to the bone. In these 7 years, whenever there's an important day connected to me, Liam always manages to create a situation at just the right moment. One phone call, and he can pull you away from my side. And me, I'm always like an idiot, forgiving again and again, waiting again and again. Now, even better, I snorted, my words full of sarcasm. To fulfill your dear little brother's dying mother's wish, you actually agreed to have a fake marriage with him? Sophia, what do you take me for? What do you take the Taylor family's face for? What do you take the Johnson family's dignity for? The entire cafe fell into a deathly silence. Everyone was struck dumb by the successive, earth-shattering revelations. The looks that had earlier condemned me for laying hands on her instantly turned into contempt and disgust for Sophia and Liam. My God, this is outrageous. Is this woman out of her mind? That Liam doesn't look like a good guy at all. This isn't a fiancé. She's practically a living saint, just there to save her brother. But that man is way too devoted. He put up with it for 7 years. If it were me, I'd have dumped him 800 times by now. Hearing about my ordeal, no one now thought my earlier action was too harsh. Rather, they thought I had gone easy on her. Sophia's face flushed and paled repeatedly, overwhelmed with shame and anger under the pointing fingers and murmurs around her. She opened her mouth to say something, but found she could not refute a single word, because everything I said was the truth, because she had never minded my tolerance before, but now, stripped bare and exposed in public, she felt an acute humiliation. I just treated him like a brother. After a long while, Sophia forced out a defensive sentence. Brother? I smiled ambiguously, reached into my pocket, and pulled out an ornate diamond ring. This was the engagement ring of the original owner and Sophia. I pinched the ring and waved it in front of Sophia, the corner of my mouth cold. Sophia, whether as a lover or a brother, you have nothing to do with me anymore. My indifferent gaze swept past Liam. My tone was casual. Since you chose to put him first, then lock yourselves together and stop coming out to ruin others. With that, with Sophia watching clearly, I flicked my finger. The ring that symbolized 7 years of feelings and an engagement traced a cold arc. With a crisp clink, it landed precisely in the trash can by the table leg. We are breaking off the engagement. I straightened, smoothed the sleeve that had been slightly creased by my movement, composed and graceful. Holy crap, even if the plot is all wrong, this is so satisfying. So cool, the male lead this move is just too handsome, total Sigma male. Sob sob, handsome as he is, does this mean my husband-chasing pyre is gone? Not necessarily. Look at the heroine's reaction. His words might kick off the husband-chasing pyre plot early. Ethan, no! Sophia finally panicked. A fear unlike any she'd felt seizing her heart. She instinctively lunged to grab my arm, tears instantly welling up. Ethan, our 7 years of feelings, is it just over like this? I can't bear to lose you. Saying that, she threw caution to the wind and frantically ransacked the trash can for the ring. Knowing Sophia's temperament, I shouldn't have felt anything. But seeing her tearful, wronged expression, I inexplicably said, "Come back with me now, explain everything to both our parents, and promise you'll have no more contact with Liam. There's still room to salvage this." At my words, Sophia's face lit up, and she was ready to agree. But then she saw Liam lying beside them, barely breathing. But, Liam, you don't need to worry about him. I'll have someone take him to the hospital, I said calmly. Hearing that, Sophia looked at my resolute face, then at Liam, and a flash of struggle crossed her face. Sophia, I'm in so much pain, save me. Suddenly, Liam cried out. Sophia's hesitation vanished instantly, her voice filled with guilt. Ethan, I'm sorry. Liam is my brother after all. I can't trust others to take care of him. I have to take him to the hospital now. Don't worry. When I come back, I'll give you a satisfactory explanation. Saying that, she picked up Liam and left without looking back. Watching this, I slapped my own face hard. I didn't slap myself out of anger at Sophia, but at myself. Those 2 sentences I'd said weren't truly mine. They were the remnant will of the original owner interfering. Alive, I was a simp, and dead, I can't even rest in peace. I was really done for. Ethan, you actually think because she said she can't bear to lose you she wouldn't care about Liam? You were never her first choice. Don't overestimate yourself. Damn it, you cowardly dead guy. I cursed the original owner's lingering will in my heart and kept slapping myself hard. This was meant to shame the original owner's face. Others, of course, had no idea. Seeing me frantically slapping myself like a man possessed, they thought I'd lost my mind. Young man, don't do anything drastic. That kind of woman isn't worth it. Yeah, you're so good to her. She doesn't deserve you. Right? This is a good thing. If you're not married, it's all for the best. When I came to my senses, hearing many people kindly console me, I knew they had misunderstood. But there was no need for me to explain. Feeling countless cameras filming, I stopped slapping my own face and switched on my award-winning actor mode. My eyes were red. I rubbed them, but still behaved properly. Sorry, everyone, for making you laugh. I bowed slightly, my voice full of apology. All right, coffee's on me today. Saying that, I took out a premium card to pay. Then I looked at the person I had just slapped in the face, gazing at him with an apologetic expression. Sorry, man, I got a little carried away just now. As I spoke, I took my wallet and pulled out more than a dozen $100 US bills. This was cash the male lead had prepared in advance for going abroad. Here, treat this as your medical fee. I hope this is enough. It's fine. It's more than enough, the man nodded excitedly. Hearing that, I smiled with relief and patted his shoulder. Brother, I'm Ethan of the Johnson family from Shingon City. If anything comes up later, just come find me. I'll take care of it. But I have some matters to attend to now. Sorry about that. I shoved the money into his hands and hurried away. The male lead really has great manners, so high status, and yet he bowed to apologize. Yeah, right, the male lead has always been very kind. No way, I feel like the male lead did this on purpose. Watching my retreating figure, countless people in the hall praised me. So he's the eldest young master of the Johnson family in Shingon City. No wonder he looked familiar. Wow, this kind of eldest young master is so humble and apologetic. He's so well-bred. The onlooker whose face I slapped was also very excited when he heard my identity. He clutched the cash tightly, watching me leave. Oh my God, the one who slapped me was the heir of the top-tier Johnson family. And he even apologized to me. He quickly took a selfie and posted it to an overseas social app with the caption, "How about that? Famous or what? Slapped by the Johnson family's eldest young master." Slapped by the divine Johnson family eldest young master. This bystander is hilarious. He got over $1,000 from one slap. Why didn't this happen to me? The male lead looked so handsome when he slapped someone. Dad, slap me. The comments were right. My actions just now were all deliberate. The goal was to win public favor and build my persona. As for why I did it, watching the buzz on overseas social apps climb so fast, a smile curled at the corner of my mouth. Of course, it was to gain greater benefits. The commotion at the cafe was considerable, and I revealed my identity. So many people immediately uploaded the footage online. With my calculated maneuvering, the matter quickly shot into the top 10 trending. The Johnson family young master is standing firm. Hashtag the Johnson family's young master exposes a big scandal. Hashtag the Johnson family's young master issues a public apology. The original owner once loved Sophia deeply, making a scene everyone knew about. He had always compromised for Sophia. Now, I've shockingly done the opposite and slapped her repeatedly, instantly sparking heated discussion. But no one blamed me for hitting her. Because I slapped myself furiously and apologized, the comment section is filled solely with sympathy and praise for me. Of course, there's also scorn and insults aimed at Sophia and Liam. Hashtag biological brother or lover brother. Hashtag Sophia exposed as a fraud. What a rotten woman. Two-timing. The Taylor Group president's unavoidable secret. Because of the buzz and the gossip, I exposed myself. Many netizens dug up Sophia's reckless deeds. Birthday parties, anniversaries, engagement banquets. They were all exactly as I described. On top of that, she even forgot that I'm allergic to mangoes and defended an outsider in front of me. That instantly roused the ire of countless men. Countless people launched verbal attacks against Sophia. The scandal also affected the Taylor family. Many questioned whether someone like her had the character to lead the Taylor Group. There was even speculation that the marriage alliance between our families might be called off. As a result, the Taylor family was mired in public opinion, and their stock price plummeted. At this moment, at the Johnson estate, the Taylor family members waited anxiously with strained faces. Richard, why hasn't Ethan come back yet? Marcus, Sophia's father and the head of the Taylor family, sounded worried. He had seen the online news and immediately came to the Johnson estate hoping to find me and discuss PR as soon as possible. After all, releasing a statement quickly could limit further damage. But now that I'd been told and hadn't returned, he couldn't help but be uneasy. "What's the rush? It's normal for traffic to be backed up for a few hours," Richard said coldly. Marcus's expression stiffened at that. As the center of the controversy, they had all watched the full cafe video and knew exactly what had happened. He knew Richard was defending me because of what I endured in the footage. He said sullenly, "Richard, my daughter was reckless. When she comes back, I'll make sure she learns her lesson." "Is your daughter short on reckless things to do?" Richard snorted and fell silent. The Taylors kept forcing smiles. About an hour passed before I finally arrived, fashionably late. I hadn't even had a chance to catch my breath when an impatient voice rang through the hall. "Ethan, there's so many of us waiting for you. How come you're only just showing up?" The one speaking was the noblewoman beside Marcus. I frowned slightly as I looked at her. Amelia, Sophia's biological mother, my nominal mother-in-law. She was originally just a minor character, an unloved, illegitimate daughter of the Taylor family. Even after marrying Marcus and giving birth to Sophia, she remained on the fringes of the Taylor clan. It was only later, because the original owner loved Sophia and extended that love to her household, that she gained her current status. The original owner had always respected her deeply, but in daily life, she often bossed the original owner around, acting superior. "If you don't want to wait, then leave. No one's forcing you." I looked at her coldly, my tone blunt. Didn't the male lead usually show the most respect to this mother-in-law? Why is he like this now? Yeah, I thought he'd apologize and bow his head, but he actually told her to leave. What's going on? Reading the live comments, I shook my head. Give me a break. I'm not that spineless original who had to placate people. And she's only a mother-in-law, not my birth mother. Even if it were my real mother making me upset, I'd still do what I have to. Besides, I'm someone who transmigrated into a book. I scorn the female lead. Do I really need to save face for you and the side characters? How can you talk to me like that? Amelia's expression froze. She hadn't expected that I, who had always shown her respect, would be so rash. "What are you? Why can't I talk to you like this?" I said more disdainfully. Amelia's face went green with anger, and she was about to lose it when Marcus shot her a cold glance. She immediately fell silent. Marcus then turned to me. "Ethan, Annie is also a bit anxious about company matters. Try to understand." He paused, then added, "Ethan, the main reason we called you back this time is to confirm your marriage with Sophia. Weren't you planning to hold the wedding in 7 days? But a couple days ago, Sophia said to postpone it. I thought she had discussed it with you, so I agreed. After seeing the online news, I found out she was planning a sham marriage with Liam first. That can't happen, so we came to discuss with you. Why not keep the wedding as originally scheduled in 7 days? I sneered at his words. Marcus's surface talk about confirming the marriage was really just probing me in secret. After all, in these turbulent times, the Taylor family was already unstable. If news of a broken alliance with the Johnsons spread, the consequences would be, Uncle Marcus, since you've seen the online reports, you should be clear about what your daughter has been doing, right? I've tolerated birthday parties and engagement banquets. But this time she wanted to have a fake marriage with an outsider first. I can't stand it. Besides, I've already given her chances. So I think this alliance doesn't need to continue. Richard brightened at that. Marcus, however, panicked. Ethan, don't joke. You've been with Sophia for 7 years. Would you really end it like that? My tone was icy. Do you think I'm joking? Marcus fell silent for a long time. Seeing I was serious, he hurriedly took out his phone and dialed. Beep beep. The call was quickly answered. Sophia, where are you? Marcus suppressed his anger, his voice low. Hey Dad, what's up? Liam is allergic to milk. I'm at the hospital with him. Sophia's tired voice came through the phone. Marcus, already furious, grew even more enraged hearing her words. Are you out of your mind? You won't go be with your own fiancée. but you go be with a brother who isn't even related by blood? Now, you get your ass over to the Johnson family and apologize immediately. Dad, why are you so angry? Liam is over there alone. I can't leave. Sophia, are you his father or his mother? Can't you hire a caregiver instead of insisting on personally taking care of him? Also, I'm not asking you. I'm informing you. If you're not here within an hour, you can forget being CEO of the Taylor Group. With that, Marcus angrily hung up. He quickly composed himself and turned to me with an apologetic expression. Ethan, I know you've been wronged by this. Don't worry. When she arrives, Uncle will give her a proper scolding. I watched his performance silently, saying nothing. My father Richard was also quiet. Seeing our attitudes, Marcus steeled himself and took out a document. Richard, this is the transfer bid for that piece of land in East District. Sophia has been so willful. It's our failure in raising her. This plot of land is my compensation to Ethan. I hope you won't mind. At this, a flicker of emotion passed through Richard's eyes. Marcus, you're really generous. That land is worth tens of billions of dollars, and you're just giving it away like that. Marcus felt a pang himself, but he had no choice. The Taylor family had been rocked by a small public opinion storm this time because someone had set them up. They had paid a huge price to bid on 2 plots in East and South districts. As a result, the company didn't have much liquid capital and couldn't develop both sites simultaneously. So it made sense to do a favor and transfer the more profitable plot to recoup funds. Richard, you're too kind. Since my daughter was in the wrong, as her father, I must apologize. What do you think? Richard said nothing further and turned to look at me. You have to ask Ethan about this. My heart warmed. The original protagonist might have had other flaws, but his father was a good man. He always respected the male lead's wishes and wouldn't force him into things for profit. Just now he fully gave the male lead the right to choose. Ethan, what do you think? I paused, my mind racing through the original book's information about these plots. Uncle Marcus, I remember. Don't you also have a plot in South District? Marcus was a little surprised. That's right, Ethan, I do have one. But that plot is in the suburbs. Its value is relatively low and the profit isn't high. Why, are you interested? I was about to speak when the chat started spamming again. If that plot is low value, then there aren't any high-value plots in Shingon City. No, this plot isn't low value. It may not be worth much now, but once the national plan comes through, it'll be included in a key development zone, and its value will at least multiply dozens of times. The East District plot is high now because of a rumored subway line, but that's fake news. When the real line is planned, its value will crash hundreds of times. Wow. Male lead, grab the South District plot. Seeing the messages, I understood. Yes, Uncle Marcus, if possible, I'd like that South District plot. May I? I had been wavering between the 2 plots. There were many stupid plot points in the original book, so I had skimmed parts. I vaguely remembered the Taylor family had bought 2 plots, one extremely valuable and one very low value. I couldn't quite recall which was which, but the chat clarified it. Marcus looked even more surprised. Ethan, are you sure you want a South District plot? That plot isn't very valuable. I nodded. Marcus was also quite pleased. Not just because of the funds, but because of my attitude. Anyone with eyes would pick the more valuable piece. By proactively choosing the less valuable one, I signaled that I cared. Ethan, so about this marriage? I scratched my ear, voice lazy. As planned. Marcus's eyes lit up. Good, good, good. He said 3 goods in a row, then suddenly remembered something. Ethan, about that thing online. Could you post a statement first? No need to explain anything. Just post a wedding photo and that'll do. I shook my head. Marcus's expression stiffened abruptly. Ethan, what do you mean? I said, Uncle Marcus, there's no need to explain. The wedding is approaching. Once it happens, the rumors will die on their own. By then the benefits will be maximized. As a businessman, Marcus instantly understood my intention. No need to act, no need to explain. Let the public opinion swell. By the wedding in 7 days, all the rumors would automatically stop. Then Taylor Group's stock price would hit bottom and rebound. All the losses of these past days would be recouped in no time. All right, then we won't explain. He slapped the table in delight. Then he glanced at his watch. Ethan, it's getting late. We won't keep you. That Sophia girl is probably still angry. I just sent a message telling her to come back. Don't worry. I'll go back and give her a proper scolding, then have her come to you tonight to beg forgiveness and bring you the bid documents for that plot in the Southern District. After the Taylors left, Richard finally spoke, scolding me for not meeting expectations. Kid, have you really been bewitched by that woman? Even now, you're still thinking of the Taylor family's interests. What's wrong with you? I knew he was referring to my choice of the plot in the South District. Dad, you're misunderstanding. I didn't give the Taylors any concessions. I genuinely think the South District plot is more valuable. Richard looked surprised at my words. Both plots' values were estimated by countless experts together. Why do you think the South District one is better? I smiled mysteriously. Dad, I have insider information. That South District plot will be included in a national key development zone within the next 3 months. Its price will rise by at least several dozen times. No wonder the male lead proactively chose the South District. I thought he could see us talking, but it turns out he had inside information. Richard's eyes were full of doubt. I haven't heard that kind of news. Where did you hear it? You didn't get conned, did you? I smiled. Dad, don't worry about where I got it from. Just trust me. All right, kid. Seeing me speak like that, Richard patted my shoulder. Then he spoke earnestly. You're grown now and have your own ideas. Actually, I don't care how much profit this land brings. I care more about your attitude. For 7 years, you've been fawning over that Taylor girl like a madman, acting like a bootlicker. Now that I know you're not doing it for that Taylor girl, I'm relieved. At that, I couldn't help touching my nose. The original owner had made countless compromises for Sophia, even harming the Johnson family's own interests. It wasn't Richard's fault to misunderstand. It won't happen again, Dad. Richard nodded approvingly. Good, I believe you. Then he changed tone. But in 7 days, are you really still going to marry that Taylor girl? I didn't answer directly. Dad, aren't I leaving for pretty country to study in 7 days anyway? Hearing me play dumb, Richard understood my meaning and nodded with relief. I smiled too. Marriage? Not happening. Not even for a dog. What kind of riddle are these two playing? What do they mean? Going abroad to study. What else would that mean? The male lead won't marry the female lead, right? I thought the male lead would accept the gift and marry the female lead. Disappointed. Don't worry. In the original novel, the male and female leads don't get married in this part either. Relax. Later, the heroine will crazily pursue the husband, and the male lead will change his mind. Evening came quickly. I was lying on the high-end Hastings bed. Nearby, 7 or 8 maids were kneeling and attending to me. Some brought tea. Some fed me. Some squeezed my shoulders. Some massaged my legs. Each of them was a female college student, each one perfect. I only had to open my mouth, and a stunning maid would feed me fruit. I couldn't help but think, is this the life of the wealthy? This is too good. The book trip wasn't in vain. The comment stream went crazy with jealousy. Isn't this supposed to be a tragic story? Male lead, hurry up and be heartbroken. Yeah, how can you have the leisure to find maids? And 8 of them at that, damn. Male lead, what are you doing? This life is so decadent. Let go of that girl. Let me take over. Just as I was happily enjoying the maid's service, a comment suddenly caught my eye. Male lead, stop enjoying yourself. Your wife is here. Sure enough, the next moment there was a knock at the door. Sir, Miss Taylor is here. Ha ha. Got you enjoying yourself. You're busted. Quick, make the maids leave. Otherwise, if the female lead sees this, it won't be explainable. I frowned slightly, not panicked at being caught, only annoyed at the interruption. What's she here for? Don't let her in. Saying that, I pulled a white stockings maid into my arms. Hiss, epic pleasure. Still my college-made fragrance. Sir, don't you remember? Miss Taylor is here to deliver the transfer contract. The butler's voice sounded again from outside. Then I suddenly remembered that was indeed the reason. I hurriedly put on my clothes. After all, you could be at odds with anyone, but not with money. Let her in. The butler led Sophia into the room. Ethan, I came. Her gentle voice stopped abruptly when she saw the 8 maids beside me. In its place came a questioning tone. Ethan, who are they? Sophia pointed at the 8 maids by my side, her voice heavy. I brushed the white-stocking maid's hair aside, speaking softly. Isn't it obvious? Of course I invited them to take care of me. With that, a red-clad maid, being perceptive, fed me a grape. Seeing this, Sophia's face went green. Ethan, you're my fiancé. How could you find women behind my back? And 8 of them. I replied lazily. How did I find them behind your back? I'm letting you see them now, aren't I? Besides, they're not my women. They're my good elder sisters. They look younger than you. How could they be your sisters? Ethan, you've changed. You would never have done this before. Sophia sounded disappointed. I smiled. Mind your own business. You can take care of your brother, Liam. So what's wrong with me finding some sisters to look after me? After all, isn't it natural for sisters to care for brothers? Don't you think so, Miss Taylor? Sophia was momentarily speechless at my words. This is different. My eyes darkened slightly as I crossed my legs. Explain how it's different. Seeing me like this, Sophia instantly blew up. It's just different. I shook my head, not wanting to argue further. Where's the contract? Hand it over. Hearing the word contract, Sophia's mood eased a bit. Ethan, do you have to make me so angry? I know you still care about me. Why treat me like this? I pointed at myself, then at Sophia, confused. I care about you? Sophia nodded yes. Otherwise, why would you choose that low-profit plot? Wasn't it to consider me, to reduce the Taylor family's losses? Great, another misunderstanding. I was a bit speechless, but I had no intention of explaining. Yes, whatever you say. Can you give me the contract now? Sophia's expression eased slightly. Then she handed the contract to me. After flipping through it and seeing no issues, I took the pen the maid offered and signed immediately. Then I looked up at Sophia, who was still standing there in a daze. Anything else? Sophia bit her lip and nodded. You may leave now. The 8 maids, upon hearing this, all turned to look at me. Sir, are we going out? I shook my head and looked at Sophia. What are you trying to do? They were hired to take care of me. If they leave, who will take care of me? Sophia's expression stiffened at that, but she didn't lose her temper. I'll take care of you. Ethan, didn't I say I'd make it up to you before? I know I was wrong about some things, so I'm here now. As she spoke, she began unbuttoning a little shy. Seeing the sudden flash of skin and her graceful figure, my mind stirred. Holy moly, this isn't making up. This is asking for payment in kind. Just as Sophia was about to undo the last button, she stopped. Ethan, can you let them go now? I wiped my mouth and hurriedly waved to the maids. You all go out first. Seeing them move slowly, I urged, hurry up. Don't go. The maids looked back, eyes a little bashful. Could the sir be thinking of 9 people? Run. Slow ones get their wages cut. And remember to close the door behind you. Run. I didn't expect you'd be this kind of hero. Ha! Look at the maids' resentful looks. You can tell what they're thinking. They're thinking the wrong thing, but why do they look a bit disappointed? Evil grin. The maids scrambled to the door, and before leaving, each turned to give me a coquettish look, then obligingly closed the door. After they left, the huge room was left with just the 2 of us. We stared at each other, breathing quickened. Sophia came up to me, pressed her lips to my ear, breath like orchids. Ethan, am I beautiful? I sized Sophia up and couldn't help reacting. Beautiful. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. That wasn't flattery. As a novel's female lead, Sophia's looks and figure were top tier. Pale skin, smooth as cream. Truly stunning. Ethan, do you love me? My expression changed slightly. I hesitated before answering. I love you. The male lead hesitated. He hesitated. Then I added inwardly, I love your body. Sophia's face flushed like an apple. So, do you like this kind of compensation? I didn't speak, just looked at her with some doubt. Sophia grew nervous. Ethan, you don't like it? I shook my head. Of course I liked it. I was feeling something else. In the original book, Sophia was ice cold. After 7 years together, The male lead rarely even kissed her, let alone had sex. The heroine was still a virgin. Both had agreed to save their first time for the wedding. Now, to make up for things, she was throwing herself into my arms. TSK. Men shouldn't be doormats. Be firm, and you get the meat. Are you sure? I asked gently. Ma'am. Sophia nodded shyly, face even redder. No regrets. No regrets. Really no regrets? Really no regrets. Then shall I? Damn it. Are you going to do it or not? Do it. I asked so many questions not because I'm some moral man, but because I didn't want responsibility. That's all. Since the heroine was being so forward, holding back now would make me the unromantic one. Coming baby. Aw, is the male lead about to get what he wants? Damn it. This plot is wrong. The original had the heroine give herself up only after discovering a misunderstanding and then chasing the husband abroad. But now. Not you above. What era is it? And you're still thinking of the original plot. Haven't you noticed how much the story has collapsed? Just watching is satisfying enough. But now such a beautiful woman is going to be taken by the male lead. Boo-hoo live broadcast. Though not acting personally, it's still so thrilling. Tissues are ready, licking the screen. I only remembered some readers were watching when I suddenly saw the live comments. I'm strong and healthy, at least for 30 minutes, so being watched doesn't really bother me. But it would reflect badly, and it'd be troublesome if I got sent to the little dark room later. So I still turn off the light. Why turn off the light? I can't see anything. That male lead is such a dog, hogging her all to himself. It's fine. Didn't I stop you from hearing the sounds? Thanks to whoever's upstairs, I rolled it. Mr. Male lead, I beg you, don't touch her, promise me. Nah, forget it. I'll find a truckload of bread people to do you. Sophia looked at me with hazy eyes. Ethan, why turn off the light? I gave a little chuckle. It got reviewed. Make do with watching. The next day, sunlight streamed through the window. I opened my eyes, looking at the mess all over the floor and the beauty sleeping beside me. I couldn't help but recall the madness of last night, feeling refreshed. Then, little Ethan stood up again. I nudged Sophia. Dear, what is it? Sophia asked sleepily. I didn't speak, just pulled the covers over my head. So early in the morning, getting frisky in broad daylight, too blinding. This beast of a male lead, wasn't last night enough? He's going again. The male lead stamina is too good. I want a husband like this too. Sister, add me, 185 centimeters tall, dark-skinned athlete. Great stamina. My contact is 186 asterisk. About an hour later, I finally got dressed. Looking at the comments seeking hookups, my face darkened. These thirsty guys. Now, they're trying to hook up in a novel. Truly unbelievable. I couldn't be bothered with these, nor did I have the energy to care. Right now, my attention was completely on the blood on the bedsheet. I knew it was normal to bleed the first time, but this blood, why was there so much? Looking at the blood all over the bed, I was stunned. This blood is clearly not right, damn. Is the male lead so intense that he made her bleed? No way, this looks like period blood. Damn, did the male lead really battle through the crimson tide? I looked at Sophia. Sophia also saw the blood and shook her head. It's nothing, I just got my period. Seeing Sophia pretending to be nonchalant, my heart stirred slightly. This female lead, to compensate me, would even ignore the dangers of her period. Really, my voice couldn't help but soften. You worked hard last night, so rest well today. Sophia seemed to want to say something, but hesitated. What? You want to do something? Dear, I'm still worried about Liam. I want to go to the hospital to see him. I was speechless. Just when I was starting to see her differently, and now, she was thinking of Liam again. The power of the plot was truly strong. Seeing my silence, Sophia quickly added, Dear, don't misunderstand. I really only see him as a younger brother. Yesterday he drank such a large glass of milk and had a severe allergic reaction. If you don't trust me, you can send someone to follow me. My tone was somewhat serious. I really am a bit worried. Sophia's face instantly turned pale. I immediately continued, smiling as I ruffled her hair. Don't overthink it. I'm just worried about your body. After all, last night was so wild. How about this? I need to go to the hospital for something anyway, so I'll go with you. Besides, the Liam situation was my momentary carelessness. I'll go apologize to him as well. Has the male lead changed? He's going to apologize to Liam? You idiot upstairs. Look at the male lead's sinister smile, clearly hiding a knife behind it. Exactly, he even emphasized the words apologize to him. Obviously has no good intentions. Dear, you're so good. Sophia stood on her tiptoes and kissed my cheek. 1 hour later, Johnson Family Hospital, the special care ward. Liam, I'm here. Sophia smiled and pushed the door open. Liam had long since woken. Sophia, you're here. Seeing her, his expression showed some excitement. It didn't last long, though, because he then saw me right behind her. His face darkened instantly. What are you doing here? I set the expired fruit basket I bought on the bedside table. What do you mean? I'm here to apologize to you. Liam said, full of resentment. I don't need your pretended apologies. Watching his stubborn look, I smiled. Without hesitation, I stepped forward and held his head down. I'm apologizing to you, so you just accept it. Understand? Sophia's face changed drastically, and she hurriedly pulled me back. Ethan, weren't you coming to apologize? What are you doing? I ignored her and only looked at Liam with a mocking expression. Right now, he was boiling with anger inside. But to keep up his image, he had to act like he was full of grievance. Ethan, I don't know what I did to offend you. Why are you targeting me like this? Seeing the brokenness on his face, I couldn't help but marvel at his acting. With this kind of acting, why bother playing a manipulative green tea and snatching someone's man? Go act in movies and win an Oscar without breaking a sweat. Enough, stop pretending. Don't you think I know what you're like? Liam's eyes flashed with fierce light for a moment. Ethan, I've been very tolerant of you. Why do you keep bullying me again and again? Do you know if Sophia hadn't begged on your behalf, I could have had you taken away for giving me milk yesterday that made me allergic? I said thoughtfully. Forcibly feeding someone an allergen did seem to be against the law. So I'm supposed to thank you for that. Liam looked at Sophia. No, you should thank Sophia. Seeing Liam behave so sensibly, Sophia couldn't help but blame me a little. All right, Ethan, stop causing trouble. This was indeed your fault. Since Liam didn't press charges, you should really thank her. I looked at Liam. How do you want me to thank you? Liam was silent for a moment, his tone a little urgent. Ethan, are you really willing to thank me? Say it, if there's something. Liam looked at Sophia. Ethan, if you really want to thank me, lend Sophia to me for 2 days. I want to fulfill my mother's last wish. Hearing Liam's words, I glanced at Sophia, whose expression remained unchanged. What do you think? Sophia pretended not to care and nodded. It's actually nothing serious, just a fake marriage. I think it's fine. After all, the dead are the most important, and Aunt treated me well when I was little. But Ethan, if you mind, then forget it. Saying this, she weakly tugged my hand, wearing a look of understanding. Liam spoke at that moment, too. Ethan, you're always magnanimous. I don't suppose you'd mind. Watching the two of them echo each other, I sneered inwardly. No wonder Sophia made amends to me last night. She'd been waiting for this. They'd already planned to keep pretending to marry Liam. Use my guilt, use a man's supposed magnanimity, use the threat of inducing an allergy to make me agree. If the original protagonist, a cowardly man, faced these lowered tactics, he might have been embarrassed. But I'm not the original. No, I mind. Of course. Liam looked at me in utter shock. Sophia's face also changed, her tone displeased. Ethan, how can you be so petty? It's just a fake marriage, isn't it? Seeing her anxious look, I smiled. What? You think I won't mind if you don't tell me? Now what do you mean by saying I'm narrow-minded? Sophia was suddenly at a loss for words for my remark. I can't accept my fiancé marrying someone else, even if it's fake. This isn't about being open-minded. It's about a man's dignity and face. Sophia, you're in such a hurry. Do you really want to marry Liam, and then have the pretend become real? Hearing the sarcasm in my words, Sophia was a little angry. Ethan, how can you think of me like that? What do you mean by me taking a pretend act for real? It's clearly just a simple fake marriage. What exactly are you making a fuss about? And talking about a man's dignity, your mindset is truly so narrow. At Sophia's accusations, I snorted, my tone mocking. Sophia, I just want to ask, what are you to Liam? Sophia paused, looking at Liam. I've always treated Liam like a younger brother. At that, the sarcasm at the corner of my mouth only deepened. A younger brother? Anyone who didn't know might think you're his mother. Sophia instantly grew furious. Ethan, how can you say that about me? I smiled. Am I wrong? He has fevers, he gets depressed. Anytime, anywhere, he calls once and you rush over to take care of him like a puppy. If that's not a mother, what is? And I just don't get it. What does his biological mother's dying wish have to do with you? Starting a family and a career? Even if you truly treat him as a brother, to fulfill his mother's wish, couldn't you find him a woman to marry? Why must you step in yourself? Are you trying to commit incest? Ha ha ha, the protagonist's mouth. Now incest too? Oh, he's not totally wrong. If it's about starting a family, find a woman to marry. Why do it yourself unless you have impure thoughts? Exactly. Sophia went pale at my words, her expression wavering. Ethan, so sorry, it's my fault. Liam spoke up then, his voice weak. I was the one who had Sophia accompany me to the hospital to see my mother. So my mother misunderstood and thought Sophia was my girlfriend. It's all my fault. Please don't blame Sophia. As he spoke, Liam fell to his knees with a thud. Ethan, I know this request is abrupt, but please, I'm begging you. This really was my mother's wish. Please consent. I looked down at his performance and couldn't help kicking him in the face. If you knew it was abrupt, why bring it up? What does your mother's wish have to do with me? Liam clutched his swollen, reddened face, looking wronged as he stared at Sophia. Sophia, if this will affect your relationship, then forget it. I'll try to explain things to my mother. Liam's voice was weak and pitiful. The struggle in Sophia's eyes instantly turned resolute, mixed with anger. Ethan, what are you making a scene about? I told you it's only a fake marriage. A fake marriage. Can't you be a bit magnanimous? And what's gotten into you today? Even if you're upset, you shouldn't hit people, right? My tone was teasing. When did I hit someone? I clearly hit a green tea B asterisk. Sophia was furious. Enough, Ethan. You really disappoint me. This favor for Liam, I'll definitely help. This isn't asking your opinion. It's notifying you. Saying that, she gently helped Liam to his feet. Get up. No need to beg him. Liam said, looking at me provocatively. Thanks, Sophia, on my temper. If I were patient, all these years in the book would have been wasted. I stepped forward 2 paces, met his terrified gaze, and slapped him hard. Smack! Liam's face, already swollen and red from allergies, grew even redder. Ethan, what the hell are you? His voice cut off abruptly because I followed with another slap. Ethan looked at me with red-rimmed eyes. Rage boiled inside him, but he still put on a look of grievance. That very expression made him all the more pitiful. Sophia finally couldn't hold back. Ethan, I didn't expect you to be so narrow-minded, so vicious. Liam only said a few words, and you slapped him without any restraint. I didn't believe him when he said you bullied him before, because I know your character. But now you still dare do this in front of me. Her voice cut off again. I slapped her once more. Slap. What? You only slapped him and didn't slap me, right? Ah, the male lead has really gone crazy with slapping. Ha! Well, slapped, it's like an old granny sneaking into bed. This made Grandpa laugh. Sophia was stunned for a moment. Then an indescribable mixture of grievance and anger burst out. You slapped me. You actually slapped me again. After what I did yesterday, she paused, red-eyed, and looked at Liam, voice full of resentment. Liam, call the police. Don't spare him any face. Get him locked up in the detention center to cool off for a few days. I was a bit taken aback at that. You want to send me in? Sophia was furious. Yes. Ethan, you're too impulsive. You should go in and calm down for a few days. During those days, I'll marry Liam. Don't worry. At the wedding in 7 days, I'll be there to pick you up on time. Oh, heroine, you're shooting yourself in the foot. The more you act like this, the more you'll push the male lead away. Seeing the resolute look on Sophia's face, I could only find it amusing. I didn't expect you to want to lock up your fiancé for the sake of an outsider. You're really something. But on what grounds do you want to send me in? Liam's eyes flashed with a flicker of triumph. Ethan, have you forgotten? Yesterday you force-fed me, and I had an allergic reaction. That's a crime. Today you also hit me and Sophia in the hospital. That's public disorder. Saying that, his expression softened a little. Ethan, I really don't want things to get this bad. You can hit me, I don't care. But you absolutely should never have hit Sophia. She's so good. So, fearing you might do something more extreme, I have no choice but to send you in to cool off for a few days. He picked up his phone, about to call the police. I kicked his phone, sending it flying to the floor. Ethan, what are you doing? I didn't speak. Seeing my silence, he sneered. What? Are you scared and going to regret it? If you kneel down and apologize to me, oh no, to Sophia, I might not call. I still said nothing. I just raised my hand and glanced at my watch. The next second, the ward door was pushed open from outside. A middle-aged doctor with a somewhat imposing appearance walked in. He was Dr. Benjamin White, the hospital director. Dr. Benjamin White came to stand beside me, then respectfully handed me a file. Mr. Johnson, your psychiatric file. I took the folder, then looked at Sophia and Liam. Meeting their puzzled gazes, I opened the file. Very quickly, a psychiatric evaluation bearing my name appeared in their sight. It showed that I, Ethan, was indeed mentally ill. Ethan, how could you possibly have a mental illness? When did you get examined? Why didn't I know? Sophia's pupils contracted. I waved the report in my hand, tone playful. Yesterday, though laws in the novel world rarely restrain the wealthy, they still existed. I had beaten quite a few people yesterday and made a lot of noise, so I prepared in advance. That 1 hour I came home late yesterday was when I went to the hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. In my original world, I already had some mental issues, plus my cash power. Getting a mental illness report was easy. I did it to be cautious and avoid unnecessary trouble. I didn't expect it would come in handy now. Liam, then, what does your so-called law have to do with my mental illness? Can you have me arrested? My tone was teasing. Liam's expression changed. You're not mentally ill at all. This is fake. You're perfectly normal. I'm going to sue you for forging a psychiatric certificate. I grinned wider. A stamp from a top tertiary hospital. Who's going to believe you when you say it's fake? Also, don't you know how rotten your reputations are online? Do you think netizens will believe you or me? As I spoke, I leaned down and whispered in Liam's ear. I forged a report. You forged depression. You forged a cancer diagnosis for your mom. We're even. Liam's pupils tightened, his tone full of incredulity. Why you? How did you know? He glanced at Sophia, looking guilty. Relax, I didn't tell her. Hearing that, Liam finally breathed easier. So, you're still going to send me to the police? Liam shook his head violently, voice apologetic. No. Ethan, my brother was just joking earlier. I continued. So, are you still going to pretend to marry her? Liam was silent. If you insist, I won't stop you. But everything you fake, I'll make it real. Liam's expression froze at my words. No, Ethan, no marriage, this marriage. I won't do it. He looked at Sophia. Sophia, I'm sorry. Let's forget the fake marriage. Huh? What did the male lead just say that made Liam react so strangely, like he's scared? Yeah. Does anyone know lip reading? Why did Liam suddenly change his attitude? I think the male lead just said Liam faked some depression or cancer. Holy, how did the male lead know? Isn't that Liam's deeply hidden secret? No wonder. If that's the leverage, Liam's reaction makes sense. Sophia looked puzzled. Liam, what's wrong? Why the sudden change of heart? Did Ethan threaten you? Don't be afraid. Tell me, and I'll handle it. She glared at me fiercely as she spoke. Liam looked wronged. I had indeed threatened him, but he couldn't bring himself to say what I threatened with. The depression and cancer were both fabricated with the help of the hospital and the private doctor close to Sophia. If I exposed it, he would definitely lose Sophia's trust. Things like that can't stand scrutiny, evidence or not. And my last 2 lines of threat really put him in a bind. No, no, no. Sophia, Ethan didn't threaten me. This is my own choice. Liam blurted out, flustered. I patted his head with a smile. Good boy. Then I looked at Sophia with a teasing expression. What? Your brother doesn't need you anymore, and you still stubbornly want to marry him. Sophia had been ready to give in, but my mockery stiffened her resolve. Yes, I will marry Liam. So what? She turned to Liam. Liam, I don't know what leverage he has on you, but don't worry. The dead are above all. Aunt Margaret's wish matters most. If there's anything, I'll help you solve it. Don't worry about him. Liam was somewhat moved. He looked up at me. I smiled and spoke. Fine. I'm not unreasonable. Since you're willing to marry him, then marry him. Sophia looked at me suspiciously. You agree? I nodded indifferently. Marrying him is your own choice. I can't stop you. But I want to say one thing. If you marry him, our engagement ends here. Sophia snorted. Thought you'd grown magnanimous, but it's still a threat. A fake marriage, is it worth it? Ethan, I told you, I'm definitely helping Liam with this. Can you stop being childish? This alliance concerns the interests of both our families. How can you just call it off? Listening to Sophia, I couldn't help but laugh. She still thinks I'm sulking, and saying the alliance concerns both families' interests, confident I won't break the engagement. Ridiculous. Has she not seen the online public opinion these days? The family that needs this marriage isn't my Johnsons, it's your Taylors. Enough, that's all there is. Think it over yourself. I said, pressed the voice recorder in my pocket, smirked, and walked away without looking back. What? How could the male lead just leave like that? Why didn't he reveal Liam's secret? Yeah, if he had said it, the heroine would have seen Liam's true colors, and there'd be no misunderstanding. No fake marriage, right? Can't you see? The reason he didn't say anything is that he's already given up on the heroine. I don't think so. Look at the bemused smile when he left. You can tell he's plotting something bigger. Watching my departing back, Liam's voice was anxious. Sophia, maybe we should just let it go. If it really affects your wedding with Ethan, I'll feel awful. Sophia shook her head unconcernedly. It's fine. Ethan's just being petulant. He loves me so much. How could he not marry me? Besides, this marriage is about both families' interests. I'm sure he'll be reasonable. Saying that, she took out her phone to look for an auspicious wedding date. Liam, let's plan the wedding first. No, heroine, if you do that, you'll push the male lead even farther away. This is good. Although the process is twisty, the plot is back on track. Heroine and male supporting lead fake marry. Male lead's heart dies. He leaves the country on the wedding day. Then the heroine is full of regret, starts to sense something's wrong, investigates, and finally discovers that Liam staged everything himself. She flies abroad and begins chasing the husband to a blazing ruin. Right now, I'm already back at the Johnson family estate, listening to the hospital surveillance recording on my phone. Sophia is saying I'm just having a tantrum, saying I still love her, saying I'll be reasonable and marry her. I can only laugh, especially when I saw the two of them eagerly discussing a fake marriage. Even funnier, two idiots. All they think about is love. Want love but not bread, huh? Stopping their fake marriage would be simple. Just expose the forged medical records for Liam. But I didn't, because I had long since decided to give up on Sophia. The commenters were right. I do have a bigger plan. That plan is to take down the Taylor family. Since I've been transmigrated into this book, since the original suffered injustice, even if I didn't personally experience it, I can't just let it go. I must take revenge. As for how to scheme against the Taylor family, my lips curved. The Taylor family is currently mired in a public opinion whirlpool, battered by the storm. Their chance to turn things around depends on a marriage alliance with my Johnson family. With news of the alliance, leveraging the Johnson family's influence and connections, plus the Johnson family's dowry investment in the Taylor group. Only then would they have a chance to survive. In the original story, the protagonist gave up and went abroad. The two families' marriage alliance broke, and the Taylor group was revived thanks to that parcel of land in the Southern District. But now, The Taylor family's greatest opportunity, the Southern District land, has already been intercepted by me. What they were left with, the parcel in the Eastern District they originally thought would be the most profitable, is actually a landmine. I twirled the voice recorder in my hand with amusement. Inside was the hospital recording of Sophia, saying she'd rather see me sent to jail than not go through a fake marriage with Liam. Granted, the content has parts 1 deliberately guided, but can't you edit recordings? With this recording, and then the fact that Liam and Sophia go through with a fake marriage a few days later, my fleeing the wedding would be justified. No one would blame me. Instead, they'd point fingers at Sophia and Liam. My running from the wedding would break the marriage alliance. The public outcry would be enough to drown the Taylor family. Their stock price would plummet, and I'd have people massively shorting Taylor Group. Panic would ensue. To survive, the Taylor Group would pin all their hopes on the Eastern District land. But that land will blow up eventually. Once the national plan is announced and subway routes are finalized, its price will crash. All of the Taylor family's investments will go down the drain. Taylor Group stock will fall to a historic low. At that point, if the Johnson family moves to buy in, the Taylor Group will legitimately become a subsidiary renamed under the Johnson Group. Olivia, come to the study. I pressed the call button on the desk. Soon, a beautiful woman in professional attire knocked and came in. Mr. Johnson, did you call for me? Who is this beauty? I've never seen her before. She's Olivia, a professional manager sponsored and trained by the Johnson family to assist the male lead in running the family's business. Isn't she supposed to appear only in the later part of the novel? Why is the male lead looking for her now? Looking at the capable woman before me, I nodded. Olivia, please sit. Olivia sat down accordingly. Sir, what are your orders? I got straight to the point and told her my entire plan to take over the Taylor Group. After a long while, Olivia came back to herself, her tone full of shock. Sir, you intend to move against the Taylor Group? Aren't you and Miss Taylor? She's just a woman. I lit a Cohiba cigar and exhaled a smoke ring. I'm only asking if you can do as I instruct and make the Taylor Group change its name to Johnson. Damn, the male lead suddenly exudes dominance, making the Taylor Group change its name to Johnson. I knew his smile was off. He wants to swallow the Taylor family. That's more like it. Always pining for love isn't fitting for an heir of a wealthy family. If you're humiliated, you should retaliate. Running off abroad and sulking isn't being a man. Clear-sighted. One woman only. Love is nothing compared to power and profit. Hearing my indifferent tone and seeing my current domineering manner, Olivia couldn't connect me with the simp who obediently catered to Sophia in her memory. But her professional competence quickly kicked in and she began to analyze. First, sir, of course it's possible. If, as you say, that land in the East District collapses in value, I am 90% confident we can acquire the Taylor Group. The Taylor Group's foundations were already unstable after the earlier public outcry. If you then run from a marriage and the alliance breaks, the public discourse will escalate. Countless netizens will probe the reasons. We can then buy some online support, and with the recordings you have, the Taylor Group stock will certainly plummet. At that point, people will panic, triggering a shareholder stampede. Scores will rush to sell shares, and we can quietly buy up the stock and even short the Taylor Group. Of course, those tactics can only severely damage the Taylor Group, not uproot it completely. So, the key point is the land in the East District you mentioned. If that information is true, then there's no problem. After all, we already have many people inside the Taylor Group. Listening to Olivia's analysis, I couldn't help but admire her. No wonder the Johnson family had handpicked and trained her from childhood. With only part of the information I gave, she quickly devised a complete acquisition plan. Not bad. The information is sound. In that case, leave this matter to you. Olivia stood, her tone respectful. Yes. Just as she was about to leave, she suddenly remembered something. Sir, when are Miss Taylor and Liam having their fake wedding? My eyes narrowed slightly. 3 days from now. Why? Olivia spoke with a hint of indignation. On the eve of the wedding, she still goes and has a fake marriage with someone else. To humiliate you like that cannot be let go. Wow, Olivia is so great, even thinking to stand up for the male lead. Seeing her defending me warmed me a little. Thank you, Olivia. I stepped forward and pulled her into my arms. The male lead is such a big pig's hoof. He pushes forward whenever he sees a beauty. Not gonna lie, fair-skinned and pretty. This Olivia is top tier too. Olivia's cheeks flushed slightly, but she didn't pull away. After all, she had been cultivated by the Johnson family to support me, and was also a candidate for a future partner. It was just that before, because the original had been wholly focused on Sophia, he had deliberately neglected her. Ethan, don't worry, I'll get you some revenge. I'll make sure to give them a big surprise. Time flew. 3 days later, a Western-style church. Liam and Sophia, wearing respectively a suit and a white wedding dress, were already standing on the stage. In the audience sat Sophia's mother Amelia, and friends of the couple. After all, it was a sham marriage, and with the recent media storm surrounding the Taylor family, they hadn't dared invite too many people. But there were still dozens of people in the audience. Among them were some of the original's friends. Right now, they were all staring fiercely at the two on stage, clearly very displeased with this sham marriage. Sophia is supposed to marry Ethan in 4 days, and now she comes here to fake marry someone else? How shameless. Exactly, have some shame. This Liam is such a green tea. Liam felt intimidated by their gazes. Sophia, are you sure about this wedding? Won't Ethan be very upset? Why don't we just forget it? Thinking of that teasing smile I gave before I left, he had an uneasy premonition. Liam, don't mind him. I've already agreed to marry him. What is there to be upset about? If he can't even accept me faking a marriage, his mind is so small, I might have to reconsider our relationship. At her words, the worry in Liam's eyes vanished instantly. His purpose from the start had been to win Sophia. Hearing her say this made him indescribably happy. His earlier nervousness disappeared. All right, Liam, stop thinking about it. The wedding is about to start. Fulfilling Aunt Margaret's wish is the most important thing. Sophia said softly. Liam gave a light, and then nodded toward the officiant. Begin. At that cue, the officiant was about to speak. Suddenly, a large crowd bustled in through the church doors. They all held microphones and shoulder-mounted cameras, clearly reporters from major mainstream media. What the hell? Isn't this a wedding? Why are so many reporters here? No idea. This scene wasn't in the original plot at all. Oh, I get it. This must be the big surprise Olivia prepared for the heroine and the others. Sorry, Miss Taylor. There were too many of them. We couldn't stop them. 2 security guards ran in panting. Useless. Sophia couldn't help but curse in anger. Then, looking at the reporters pouring in, her brow furrowed. Who are you? I don't remember inviting you. The leading reporter was the first to raise a microphone. Miss Taylor, I'm a reporter from Starport Post. We heard you're supposed to marry Mr. Ethan of the Johnson family in 4 days. What does today's wedding mean then? At the words, Sophia's face immediately darkened. Before she could react, the next question followed in quick succession. Miss Taylor, are the rumors online true? Did the alliance between the two families fall apart because of the gentleman at today's wedding? Please explain. Liam's expression instantly turned flustered. Miss Taylor, did you apologize in the cafe by making your fiancé an allergenic mango cake on purpose, or did you really forget? Don't you feel any guilt? Please answer directly. Miss Taylor, does your fiancé, Mr. Ethan, know you're getting married today? Miss Taylor, may I ask? Hearing the barrage of reporters' questions, Sophia's face was ashen with anger. If it weren't for her public image, she would have sworn at them outright. I refuse to answer any questions. Miss Taylor, you refuse to answer. Are you feeling guilty? Sophia cursed in her mind. God damn it. Seeing Sophia unmoved, the reporters turned their attention to Liam. Mr. Parker, did you know Miss Taylor had a fiancé? Are you aware you're the other man? As the other man, how do you feel about that? Liam's expression grew extremely ugly. Then the reporters looked at Liam's mother, Margaret, who was sitting in the front row. Mrs. Parker, did you know your son was the other man? We heard Miss Taylor is marrying your son to fulfill your wish. Do you really have cancer? Even if you truly have cancer, is your wish to have your son intrude on someone else's marriage something you're ashamed of? Teaching your child to intrude on another marriage. Really, is that how you raised him? The reporter's relentless questioning completely shattered the mental defenses of both Liam and Margaret, especially Margaret. She knew everything Liam had done, including faking depression and forging cancer medical records. So each reporter's question hit her where it hurt. She couldn't help but spit up a mouthful of congealed blood. She'd been made sick by anger, even though she wasn't ill. "Mom!" Liam tore his hand away from Sophia and hurried forward to support her. Seeing this, Sophia finally couldn't take it anymore. "You're bullying an old woman like this. This is too much. Get out, all of you, get out." Sophia pointed at the door, her chest heaving violently. But the reporters weren't about to retreat. Not only did they not back off, they clamored on, eager to keep asking questions. "Miss Taylor, is telling the truth really that shocking? Is this touching a sore spot and making you lose your temper?" Sophia, furious beyond measure, exploded with curses. "Fuck off, all of you, get out. Where are the security guards? Where are they even for? Get them out of here. If you can't drive them out, then you can all get out yourselves." The security guard heard the voice and looked utterly speechless. There were only 7 or 8 of them in total. The reporters present numbered at least 30 or 40. How could they chase them off? Being called trash by Sophia a moment ago was bad enough, and now she was acting so imperious. If the pay were high, that might be one thing, but they only made $5,000 a month. No reason to risk everything. "You idiots, fine, I'm out. I don't need this job." One guard tore off his ID badge, slammed it to the ground, and spat. The other guards echoed him when they saw that. "Exactly. What's the difference where a guard works? I'm done serving. We've been annoyed with you for a long time. Having a betrothal, but marrying someone else. The nerve. Right, brothers, we're quitting." All the guards walked off, with countless reporters fanning the flames. The protagonist's friends in the audience also started protesting. The wedding scene instantly descended into chaos. At that moment, I watched the live stream on my phone, and the corner of my mouth lifted slightly. "Olivia, well done." Olivia propped one hand on the table, squinting as she smiled. "So how are you going to thank me, Ethan?" I curled the corner of my mouth and, without hesitation, kissed her. Olivia's eyes went wide. I didn't pull away until she was nearly breathless. "What are you doing?" Olivia panted heavily, her cheeks flushed. I smiled at her. "A reward for you. Don't you like it, Olivia?" Olivia's face burned. Her voice was a mere whisper. I don't like it at all." I fell silent and kissed her again. "Like it or not? Answer me. Like it or not?" With each question, I gave her a kiss. After several in a row, Olivia finally pushed me away. Ethan, can't I just say I like it?" At her words, my face lit up. "You like it? Then keep going," I said, making a move to kiss her again. "Are you giving me a reward or seeking benefits for yourself?" Olivia teased, pressing a finger to my brow. Just then the phone rang. She glanced at the caller ID and spoke softly. "All right, be good. Deal with the important stuff first." She answered and listened to the report on the other end. After a while, Olivia smiled and opened her mouth. "Ethan, you were right. The Taylor family really can't sit still. They spent a fortune trying to suppress the fake marriage news." I nodded without comment. The Taylor family sees the marriage between Sophia and me as their chance to turn things around. So naturally, they won't want public opinion fermenting and hurting the union. So they'll stop at nothing to control the narrative, even throwing money at the media to silence them. Olivia shook her head with a smile. "Good thing you were farsighted, and we preemptively bought up most of the media. This time the Taylors are bleeding cash, even tapping the company's meager cash flow for PR. What are you going to do next? Expand the publicity?" I took a small sip of American coffee, the bitterness making me frown. "No, since the Taylors are hemorrhaging money to quiet things. Let them have it. We won't just help them control the narrative, we'll help clear things up." "Why?" Olivia asked, puzzled. "The Taylors are deeply entrenched. You can't push them too hard." I swirled my coffee cup. To destroy a man, you must first drive him mad. Give them some hope over the next few days. Then use those stories as support and blast everything wide open at the wedding in 4 days, including the recordings and the forged medical records Liam made. At that point, netizens will feel deceived and the backlash will be even more ferocious. The huge gap between reality and their hopes will topple the Taylor family overnight. "Ethan, you're so wicked," Olivia teased. I hugged her to me with a smile. Wicked and then some. "One try." Olivia glared at me fiercely. "You little thing. Always so improper." I nodded non-committally. "But that's for later. For now, one thing's certain. Sophia and Liam are in big trouble," I said, looking at the barrage of comments scrolling by. Countless bullet comments were flashing by rapidly. Haha, the male lead was right. The heroine and Liam have been torn apart by Marcus. What fake marriage? They're being roasted so badly. Marcus's tirade was so satisfying, I loved it. The Taylor family just lost billions for nothing, risked a broken alliance, and got yelled at by Old Man Taylor like a grandson. Yes, right now Old Man Taylor is scolding them, and later he'll force Sophia and Liam to apologize to. From the comments, I knew what Liam and Sophia had gone through. I felt no sympathy. On the contrary, I found it amusing. The wedding fell through and instead stirred up a mess. Serve them right. But that was just an appetizer. The real main event would be the wedding 4 days from now. As I was scrolling through the comments, the butler's voice sounded outside the door. "Sir, old Master Taylor has brought Miss Taylor with him. Do not show them in. Tell them I've already gone abroad." No sooner had the words left my mouth than the door was pushed open. "Ethan, no need to say anything. We heard you." Still sulking, old Master Taylor, Sophia's grandfather, George Taylor, said with a note of kindness, "I know this is Sophia and Liam's fault. That's why I brought Sophia over to apologize to you. Liam is kneeling outside the door, too. Calm down." Wow. Finally someone in the Taylor family with some sense, lowering themselves to apologize first. Yeah, he's the kindest toward the male lead in the whole Taylor clan. You haven't finished the original yet, have you? He's not reasonable. He has no choice. If he didn't do this, the male lead would break the engagement and the Taylor family would be finished. Being nice to him is just to protect their own interests. But they don't know the male lead never planned to marry in the first place. Haha. I looked at the kindly-faced George Taylor in front of me and felt a chill. This old man Taylor was indeed good to the original owner, but all that goodness was built on interest. He was extremely hypocritical. He treated you kindly when it served him, but as soon as you had no use, he would abandon you without hesitation. Especially at the end of the novel, for greater gain, he betrayed the Johnson family, causing them to near bankruptcy and Father Richard to fall into depression. He even poured another bucket of torment into the relationship between the male and female leads, which finally woke the original up. So I had no reason to be pleasant to such a hypocrite. "Who let you in?" My voice was cold. George Taylor's expression stiffened, but he did not get angry. "Ethan, I'm here with Sophia to apologize." He pushed Sophia slightly as he spoke. There was a handprint on Sophia's cheek, clearly from a recent slap, but she didn't apologize immediately. Instead, she snarked, "Ethan, I thought you went abroad? How are you still here? When did you go abroad?" She had a smile at the corner of her mouth. "Mind your own business." My look and tone were equally icy. After a pause, I spoke again, "Now." Saying that, I grabbed the suitcase I'd already packed, shot them both a glare, and walked past them without looking back. I didn't do it to avoid them. I had planned to leave for abroad early. Everything back home was already settled, and staying felt dull. Better to go overseas and clear my head. This. George Taylor and Sophia stared blankly at my retreating figure and then tried to chase after me. Olivia stepped out and blocked them. "Miss Reed, what do you mean by this?" "Mr. Taylor, Ethan was hurt by this and wants to go abroad to clear his head, so don't disturb him. He's always been sensible. Once he thinks things through, he'll come back." Olivia sneered inwardly. "He will come back, but when is uncertain." Hearing this, George Taylor slapped the other side of Sophia's face. I told you to apologize. Why are you saying such nonsense? Then he nodded repeatedly at Olivia. Right, right. This is my granddaughter's fault. It's normal for Ethan to be unhappy and go away to clear his mind. Then we won't disturb him for now. After I left the gate, I saw Liam kneeling at the bottom of the steps. He, too, had a handprint on his face. Seeing me hurry out, his gaze turned ugly. Why are you out? I didn't explain. I walked up to him and slapped the other side of his face with my backhand. What are you doing? Liam cried out in pain. Sorry, Liam. I have a bit of an OCD. I just noticed the handprints on your face were asymmetrical and it looked off. I gestured at his swollen cheek. There, much better. Now they're symmetrical. God, handprint asymmetry. I didn't expect you to be this kind of male lead. But I like it. You. Liam's face grew even redder, whether from anger or from the slap, I couldn't tell. All right, Liam, I'm not chatting with you. My flight's about to be late, I'm off. I patted his shoulder and then hurried away with my suitcase. That silhouette of the male lead reminds me of rushing to a flight after oversleeping. Even rich heirs need to catch planes. I'd assumed they always traveled by private jet. At this moment, I was already seated in first class on the plane. Looking at the barrage of comments before me, I wiped the sweat from my brow. Right, I also have a private jet. Calculating in my head, once I ruin the Taylor family, I must buy 2 private jets. The plane was fast. About 10 hours later, I arrived in the beautiful country. As soon as I got off the plane, someone in charge of the Johnson family's tourism business came to pick me up. They first took care of my university enrollment, then sensibly arranged for 2 blonde, blue-eyed girls to show me the foreign sights. And so, in this novel world, I spent the most pleasant 4 days. 4 days later, I was lying in the presidential suite of the Vienna Hotel with the 2 girls on my left and right. But I had no mind to enjoy myself. All my attention was on the screen in front of me. It was the Taylor family's live broadcast of the century wedding prepared for Sophia and me. The scene was grand. The wind that day was also strong. But not a single person from the Johnson family showed up. No one connected to the Johnsons came either. Only the Taylor family was left, disheveled in the wind. The live chat scrolled rapidly. This what's going on? Isn't this a wedding? Where are the groom's people? Isn't it obvious? Not a single person came. Obviously he ran away from the wedding. Huh? Ran away? How could that be? Isn't Mr. Ethan of the Johnson family the one who loves Miss Taylor the most? Someone upstairs must be living in the past. That was before. Yeah, anyone would be devastated being treated like this by their fiancé. But the Taylor family really has nerve, causing all this and still trying to hold a wedding. Where do they get the face? The Johnson family is wrong too, right? Even if they didn't want to marry, they should have said so in advance. What is this now? The barrage was full of debate, but most of it blamed the Taylor family. I watched with relish. On the screen, George Taylor, Marcus, the Taylor family's main line and its branches, the whole family's faces were as dark as soot. They had grievances against the Johnson family, but even more resentment towards Sophia. They all thought that if Sophia hadn't acted up, things would never have come to this. Sophia, what are you standing there for? Call Ethan and beg his forgiveness right now. Exactly. If Ethan doesn't come back to Mary today, you'll be the Taylor family's sinner. Call him. If Ethan doesn't forgive you, don't come home tonight. Hearing countless accusations from her relatives, Sophia felt unbearably wronged. It wasn't entirely her fault, but she was also very surprised at the moment. Wasn't I the one who loved her the most? How could he run away from the wedding? She flusteredly picked up her phone and dialed my number. Beep. Sorry, the user you're trying to reach is on another call. Please try again later. A busy signal came from the other end. Sophia's face turned unusually ugly. Daughter, what's wrong? Marcus asked. Dad, Ethan, he blocked me. How could that be? Marcus said in alarm, and also took out his phone to call me. The result was the same. He blocked me too. Me too. Occasional exclamations from other members of the Taylor family sounded around. Even before I went abroad, I had already blocked everyone in the Taylor family from top to bottom. Huh. Mr. Ethan has blocked the entire Taylor family. Are you all stupid? If you're blocked, why not call from another number? George Taylor jabbed his cane into the ground and shouted angrily. Yeah, being blocked doesn't mean you can't use a different number. Just call from another phone. As expected of old Mr. Taylor, getting straight to the point. Marcus suddenly brightened and hurried to have a new phone brought. When the call connected, George Taylor said, "Give it to me." In the room, I looked at the unknown incoming call on my phone and, without hesitation, clicked to answer. "Hello, is this Ethan?" "Yes, Mr. George. What can I do for you?" "Oh, Ethan, you can tell it's me?" "What is it?" "Nothing big. Just asking about today's wedding. Why didn't you come? Was your flight delayed?" Hearing that, I couldn't help but laugh. "Why didn't I come? Don't they have any idea?" This old man was pretending to be clueless when he clearly knew. "Oh, no. I didn't plan to come back today." "What? Ethan, what do you mean by that? You're not coming to get married?" I replied sarcastically. "I have a psychological aversion to marriage. I won't marry a woman who's been married twice." "Let Liam marry her then." George Taylor heard that I was still angry and his tone softened. "Child, you've misunderstood. Sophia didn't marry Liam. The fake marriage didn't happen either." Seeing me still silent, he continued to persuade. "I know you've been wrong. Come back. I'll give Sophia a proper scolding." I remained silent. Marcus chimed in from the side. "Ethan, you've accepted gifts from our Taylor family. How can you say you won't marry after that?" I thought for a moment and said, "Getting married isn't impossible." "What do you mean?" Hearing this, both George Taylor and Marcus were somewhat taken aback. "It means I can get married, but I waited for Sophia for so long before. Can't you wait for me a day or two?" Seeing me relent, Marcus breathed a sigh of relief. Willing. Ethan, it was our fault before. We're willing to wait for your return." I nodded without committing. Willing is good. Then have Sophia wait for me at the wedding site for one day. This is the last chance I'm giving you. If she can't even wait one day, then leave. Marcus cut me off before I could finish. Understood. Ethan, I understand. Sophia will wait for you. I'll definitely watch over her and won't let her run off. Better be. After saying that, I hung up the phone. "Sir, if Miss Taylor doesn't leave, will you really return to your country to get married?" The blonde girl beside me asked in halting Chinese. I shook my head. "Of course not." "Then why did you say that?" I smirked slightly at the corner of my mouth. "Because she will leave." Saying that, I pressed the remote and another screen lit up. On the screen, a cargo ship sailing on the high seas. The deck crowded with burly men covered in tattoos holding AKs. And Liam lay in the center of the deck, battered and bloody. "Boss!" The beret-wearing leader at the front saw me on the screen and immediately saluted. Seeing this, the live comments exploded instantly. "What's going on? Why did the tone change so drastically? Where did these mercenaries come from? And did I hear that right? Is a mercenary calling the male lead what? Boss, holy crap. I was wondering why the male lead was so confident. Turns out he tied up Liam. The heroine is usually pretty cool, but when it comes to Liam, she loses control. If she knows Liam was kidnapped, she'll go save him no matter what." "Exactly. But I'm curious how the male lead thought to kidnap Liam? And when was this arranged?" My God, a perfectly fine romance tragedy got turned into a power fantasy by the male lead. Reading the comments praising me, the smile at my lips deepened. This wasn't me deliberately wanting to kidnap Liam. In the original protagonist also fled on her wedding day. To stop her from marrying smoothly, Liam himself planned a kidnapping. He hired someone to abduct him and send the video to Sophia, hoping she'd leave again at the wedding. To make it convincing, he even found real mercenaries on the dark web. It was all Liam's plan. I had only bought off this squad of mercenaries in advance, following along with his scheme. Treat my friend Liam well, and remember to record a video and send it to Sophia. Yes, sir. Soon, the video of the mercenaries torturing Liam, with Liam sobbing and begging for mercy, was sent to Sophia's phone. As I expected, the moment Sophia saw the video, she couldn't help but grab her bag to leave. "What are you doing?" Marcus blocked her warily. Sophia cried urgently. "Liam has been kidnapped. I have to go save him now." "Who?" "Ethan." Marcus sounded unsettled. Wasn't he fine just now? How did he suddenly get kidnapped? Sophia's expression hardened. Not Ethan, Liam. Then go quickly. What are you waiting? Marcus's words cut off abruptly. Who did you say? Liam. Yes. The Taylors were instantly speechless. I thought it was someone else. Turns out it's that green tea. They stepped in front of Sophia. You're not going. Get out of the way. That's a life we're talking about. Sophia, tell me, are you his father or his mother? What does it matter to you whether he lives or dies? Forgot what Ethan said? This is the last chance. Don't be so selfish. This marriage agreement affects the survival of the Taylor family. Sophia was frantic. She already felt guilty for having ruined Liam's fake wedding, and seeing the video of him being tortured made her ache all the more. Life and death are the greatest matters. Money is nothing. That's a life. With that, she ignored everyone's objections and stubbornly left the wedding. The venue erupted in uproar. The live broadcast of the century wedding also went completely viral at that moment. No way. Is Miss Taylor out her mind? What does this have to do with her? Sure, saving a life is right, but he's just a non-blood related younger brother. Exactly. Call the police if he's kidnapped. Why rush into this mess yourself? Unbelievable. Totally. I didn't believe the rumors before, but now I do. She left again for Liam. Online, countless people lambasted the Taylor family and Sophia. Shut down the stream. Close the stream. Block the news. Marcus saw the public opinion turning and hurriedly instructed his staff. But it was too late. The Taylor family had made countless preparations for this wedding. Set design, promotions, traffic investments, especially this live stream, which had huge sums poured into boosting its reach. No one expected they would shoot themselves in the foot. With so many viewers, the internet exploded. My prearranged sock puppets then began to work, and with edited audio clips, the Taylor family suddenly went from famous to notorious overnight. The Johnson family's official social account also released a statement at this time. Due to the improper conduct of Miss Sophia of the Taylor family, we hereby terminate the marital alliance with the Taylor family and end all cooperation with the Taylor Group. Some opportunistic traders with keen commercial instincts immediately started shorting Taylor Group stock. Olivia teamed up with the Johnson family's market operators and countless capital giants eager for a piece of the pie to short the Taylor Group. The company's share price plunged instantly, falling straight down like a waterfall. Panic ensued. Even people inside the Taylor family couldn't help but rush to sell. Taylor Group's valuation was halved in an instant. Sophia still didn't know that her departure had already stirred up a huge uproar online. Her mind was filled with kidnapped Liam. So she sped, arriving in just over an hour at the location the mercenaries had given her, an abandoned factory. Unfortunately, the location was fake. She had made the trip for nothing, but she had no time to complain. Countless shareholders' calls were already bombing her phone. Sophia, how are you running this company? Can you still do your job? Do you know the public opinion has exploded because of you? The company's valuation has also plunged. She answered the calls and was shocked when she learned what had happened to the Taylor Group. How could the Johnson family have broken off the engagement and cut off all cooperation? It was just one disappearance. How could the public reaction be so severe? She didn't know the reasons behind any of this, but with things as they were, they had to be dealt with first. Sophia, worthy of being the heroine, was strong inside and quickly calmed down, immediately rushing back to the Taylor Group to discuss solutions. After several hours of meetings, and with the guidance of the Taylor Group's elders, they finally decided, developed the plot of land in the East District, using it as their hope for a turnaround. I lay on the bed, watching Sophia and the others walk step by step into the trap I'd set, and the corner of my mouth couldn't help but curl. Develop it. Dig it. Every scoop of the excavator on that plot in the East District was a grave being dug for the Taylor family. At that moment, a video call request appeared on the screen. I answered, and Jason, the mercenary leader with the scarred face, appeared. Boss, the video has been sent to Miss Taylor. What should we do with this one? His will to live is pretty strong, I said, and Jason kicked Liam, who had been tortured into a wreck by my feet. Ethan, Mr. Ethan, please spare me. Liam saw me on the screen, struggled to his feet, and knelt, banging his head on the ground. I won't bother you again. I'll stay far away from Sophia. I won't compete with you for her anymore. Please have mercy. He is pretty tough. Watching him repeatedly kowtow, I couldn't help but smile. But I'm the heir of the Johnson family, not someone who lets things slide. Jason, toss him into the sea to feed the fish. All right, remember to tie a rock to him. And before he dies, give him a glass of milk. I remember he likes it. Throw him into the sea to feed the fish. How can the male lead say something so cruel, so casually? Exactly. So nonchalant. And he even specifies tying a rock. Feels like he's done this sort of thing before. Needing to force-feed milk before he dies. The lead really holds grudges. But where would they get milk on a transport ship? No problem, sir. Jason said as he tied a rock to Liam. Then he suddenly smacked his forehead. Boss, it seems there's no milk on the ship. I crooked my mouth and smiled. No milk? Can't you make your own? Men don't grow that stuff for nothing. My God, this is outrageous. Speechless, though shocking. You can't deny it kind of counts as milk? Evil grin. Jason and the mercenaries around him looked at Liam and showed ill-intentioned smiles. Liam's face turned deathly pale. No, you can't do this to me. Ethan, this is murder. You'll be punished. His voice cut off. The mercenaries had already taken off their trousers, and what followed was an indescribable, adults-only scene. Cover your eyes. Is this something you can see without paying? Half an hour later, Liam looked utterly despondent. Without Jason doing anything, he crawled into a gunny sack and jumped off the ship himself. Ha ha! Voluntarily jumping ship. That's hilarious. What's so funny? That's just cruel. Cruel? It's just a novel world. Saint, get out. I don't consider tossing someone into the sea to feed the fish to be cruel. After all, when I was transported into the Xinxiao world before, raising cities and slaughtering clans was commonplace. So Liam's fate was, to me, merely a minor incident. I even felt his struggles in this urban world were just petty squabbles. I didn't take the matters of the Taylor family to heart at all. Everything that needed to be handled was handled, and professionals like Olivia were taking care of the work. All I needed to do was enjoy life. Do whatever makes me happy. So for the next 3 months, I traveled abroad, wandering mountains and waters, living in utter comfort. Of course, while I was living comfortably, some people were in dire straits. The Taylor family was so busy they had no time to rest. I didn't purposely pry into Taylor Group's affairs these days, but through live comments and news pushes I learned quite a bit. Taylor Group's stock price plummeted, cash flow was cut off, and shareholders big and small fled. Even people inside the Taylor family were cashing out and leaving. On top of that, the moles I placed inside Taylor Group kept sabotaging things, and the company was teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. Sophia humbled herself and ran around seeking investors. George Taylor and Marcus sold properties and even mortgaged the Taylor family's old mansion. But that money was only a drop in the bucket compared to the investment needed for property development. I even felt that before the East District land caused a crash, Taylor Group would collapse on its own. But Sophia is truly a heroine. Though her character isn't likable, her capability is outstanding. At the brink of collapse, with banks refusing loans, she had the boldness to sign a gamble, staking the entire Taylor Group and the East District land. In other words, she put everything the Taylor family had on the line. As the female lead, having that kind of courage is impressive. But unfortunately, she couldn't possibly win that bet. The national plan for the East District land had long been finalized. Once the news came out, prices would surely crash. It would be lucky not to lose the development funds, let alone recoup the land purchase costs or make a profit. Soon, 1 month later, the National Development and Reform Commission, just like in the original, released a new urban plan. The price of the plot in the West District skyrocketed, while the price of the plot in the East District plunged instantly. Taylor Group was overturned overnight. It changed hands and became the Johnson family's property. The bank president who had signed the gamble agreement with Taylor Group happened to be a member of my Johnson family. Right now, Sophia lay helplessly on the couch in the president's office of Taylor Group. Her eyes were bloodshot, and she looked utterly haggard. She didn't understand why Taylor Group had become the Johnson family's asset, but she had no energy to think about it now, because she had just received the news. Grandpa George Taylor couldn't bear the blow of seeing his life's work destroyed. He coughed up blood and died gasping. Father Marcus scolded her as an unfilial daughter over the phone and kicked her out of the Taylor family. People of the Taylor family left and fled. When the tree fell, the monkeys scattered. Those who remained treated her as an enemy, calling her the sinner of the Taylor family. Sophia's heartache reached its limit. She couldn't help but start to doubt herself. Had she really done something wrong? But she had only wanted to help Liam fulfill his mother's last wish. Only wanted to rescue the kidnapped Liam at the wedding. What had she done wrong? While Sophia's thoughts were in turmoil, evidence suddenly exploded online that Liam had fake depression and his mother's cancer medical records. Screenshots also surfaced showing Liam orchestrating the whole thing, posting a bounty on the dark web, hiring mercenaries to kidnap himself, and assigning the task of sending videos to Sophia. Public opinion erupted once more. Countless netizens ridiculed Sophia. For a manipulative woman, she abandoned her deeply loving fiancé, and in the end ruined her family. Unbelievable. At this moment, Sophia, once the glamorous Taylor family heiress, the favored daughter in everyone's eyes, became a universally despised jinx. She was vilified across the internet, attacked in countless posts, deceived by Liam, abandoned by her family, and she had lost me. Sophia developed a severe depression. Sophia was dazed and confused. At her lowest point, she came to the beautiful country alone, wanting to see me one more time. I didn't see her, because there was nothing to say between us, and we were never from the same world. Sophia, having failed to see me, seemed to have completely lost her mind. She began searching the whole world for any trace of me. Although I deliberately hid my whereabouts, she eventually found me. The moment she saw me, she lunged at me like a madwoman, crying and sobbing. "Ethan, I'm sorry. I know I was wrong. Will you forgive me?" My expression was very calm. "Sophia, it's over between us." Sophia looked at me with unfamiliar eyes, as if something had suddenly become clear. You're not Ethan. The real Ethan would never treat me like this." "Who are you, really?" I nodded without denying it. "I'm indeed not him." The chat exploded instantly. "What? The male lead is not the original? Then who is in his body now? The male lead was possessed? But this is an urban romance. Damn, I should have known. The male lead is acting so abnormally. He's definitely not his old self. He knows the plot and is so decisive. He must have transmigrated into the book. Nice. I knew it." Hearing my words, Sophia's eyes lit up, and like a madwoman, she grabbed my neck with her hands. "Tell me, where did you put the real Ethan? Give him back to me." "You know, I'm a madman now. A madman can do anything." Hearing Sophia's threat, I was full of contempt and slapped her across the face with the back of my hand. "What's wrong with being crazy? I'm the lunatic." Ha ha ha. I was wondering how the male lead would respond, and he said, "I'm a lunatic. Brilliant. Yahaha. You go mad, I'll go crazier." Even though he's not the original, in my heart, he's the male lead. Exactly. You could call him the strongest transmigrated boss. I sneered again, pried Sophia's hand apart, and pinned her to the ground. "If you're going to go mad, don't do it in front of me." Sophia grew even more deranged, struggling desperately. "Give me back my Ethan. Give him back." Without hesitation, I slapped her hard across the face again. "Give you back? That turtle of a man has been dead for a long time." "Dead?" Sophia's pupils constricted violently. I nodded. "Yeah, it was you who drove him to death over the past 7 years, wasn't it?" Almost instantly, the bits and pieces of those 7 years, countless times she had abandoned the original's memories for Liam, flashed through Sophia's mind like a revolving lantern. It's my fault. I drove Ethan to his death." Sophia gave up struggling, lying on the ground with a defeated look. It's my fault. It's all my fault. It's my fault. Disheveled and unkempt, she slapped herself repeatedly as she spoke. After who knows how long, she slowly got up and staggered away, muttering continuously as she went, "It's my fault. I'm a sinner. I'm sorry." Her figure gradually disappeared at the end of the street. Seeing that scene, I couldn't help but sigh. All of them are pitiable. The so-called favored daughter of heaven is nothing more than a pawn manipulated by the plot. After Sophia left, my life went on as usual. Flying around the world, eating, drinking, playing, how happy I was. Until one day, I suddenly heard the news of Sophia's death. According to Olivia, ever since she parted from me that day, Sophia completely lost her mind. She stopped searching for me and instead threw everything she had into finding the mastermind behind all this, Liam. But Liam had long ago been tossed by me to the fishes. She couldn't find him at all, so she set her sights on Liam's mother, Margaret, who had also deceived her. She dragged Margaret up to the rooftop, and then, holding Margaret, jumped down together. Sophia was dead. Thus ended her beautiful yet ridiculous life. Maybe it was because I had transmigrated through so many books and experienced so many separations by death. I felt not an ounce of guilt about her death, not even any particular feeling. To me, she was merely one passerby among countless lives I had lived. Life is fleeting. With the heroine's death, the barrage of comments before my eyes disappeared completely. As for the rest of my life, it remained all neon lights and wine-soaked nights, decadent and dazzling. These things were what I deserved for having been transmigrated into this melodramatic, abusive novel. Here I want to offer a few words of warning. Being too good to someone only increases the chance you won't be appreciated. So work on strengthening your inner self and establishing your own principles. Don't compromise for anyone. You are you, a one and only. I hope everyone gets what they wish for and that your dreams come true.